Hi there everyone, and welcome to another Pokemon Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle. This was a fun battle I had against a passerby, and of course with the random passerbys you never know which team to bring, so I decided to bring my sort of UU team, and we can see my opponent there running a clear OU team. So this is definitely going to be an uphill one. Let's see how it goes. Shows the brilliant Gladion theme for this, as we have Pokemon Trainer Map. So of course I lead off with my Smeargle. I want to get my hazards up as soon as possible, as he leads off with his Garchomp, aptly named Cynthia. So I was wondering if it was going to go for Stealth Rock, but no, we see it is a Sword Dance one. Nice and scary. This is actually pretty worrying, because even if I am to Parting Shot it, it'll still be at +1 and hurt members of my team severely. So we do get it to sleep with Spore, and now, while it's asleep, we can start setting up the hazards. Of course, my brilliant and most loved hazard, Sticky Web, lowering the speed of my opponent's team. When I looked at his team, I see he does have one Pokemon that is likely to have Defog, and that is the Tornadus. So I throw up the Stealth Rocks. Tornadus will take 25% damage when it switches in now. And I had a feeling he was probably going to wake up here, so I took the risk and decided to Spore again, knowing that I'd survive any one hit on my Focus Sash. So yes, Spore and back to sleep. Good thing he didn't switch there, otherwise I would have broken Sleep Claws. But I had a feeling he'd wake up there. He stayed asleep for quite some time. Now, to my surprise, he actually switches out. Considering he didn't switch out earlier, I thought he'd just stay in here. But that's fine for me, because I switched out too with Parting Shot, lowering the offensive stance of Tornadus here, but there's nothing I can really do to stop a Tailwind from happening. Not a Tailwind, a Defog. But I'll send in Xurkitree, forcing him to either allow his Tornadus to go down to a Thunderbolt, or switch out and allow the hazards to stay up. He opts to do the former and stays in, so his Tornadus goes down. Now, looking at his team, they're all pretty fast mons. The only way I'm going to win this is if I have Sticky Web up. So I need to look for an opportunity to bring back in the Smeargle. However, all his Pokemon are pretty fast, except for the Magnezone. That means I have to wait for the Magnezone to come in, then I can bring in my Smeargle, and I should be able to get up Sticky Webs before it kills me. Now, I want to keep my Xurkitree around for a while, so I predict the Psychic and switch into Crocodile. We see this is a max speed Tapu Lele, because it outspeeds my Crocodile, which is max speed. But thanks to that Assault Vest, we do live the one hit, and it allows me to get the knockoff off, doing hefty damage and getting rid of the Twisted Spoon. But now I'm forced to switch because I do want to keep Crocodile alive. If he's going to go for another Fairy attack, I can switch in Ryujin. And that's exactly what happens. I resist the Fairy attack, and luckily I don't get a special attack drop. And now, base 100 speed Ryujin, I know I should be able to outspeed. I was surprised my opponent switched there, because most people are surprised by a max speed Tentacruel. Shame I didn't go for the knockoff here, but we do nice damage with the Scald there. But still, I do not want Ryujin really going down, so I'm gonna switch back. I'm going to Leafeon. Leafeon, my reasoning for switching into Leafeon here, the most expendable party member on my team. I needed to have a safe switch with Mr. Psychic here, so I figured I'll switch into Leafeon, let it go down, and then I can bring in something without taking any damage. But surprise, surprise, we see the Psyshock. And of course that's a physical move going on to my physically defensive wall Leafeon here. So that does barely any damage. Well, it does about 60%, but now that the Psychic terrain's gone, it's going to do even less. And finally, we see the Roswell, the Magnezone. We do a decent amount of damage with the Leaf Blade. So I decide, Leafeon, still the most expendable party member at the moment, I'm going to keep attacking this Roswell, and hopefully he's going to take me out. And when he does, I can bring in Smeargle, who will outspeed. Roswell, of course, has a base speed of 60, I believe, whereas Smeargle is base 75. So yes, all goes according to plan. Leafeon goes down, and I bring in Smeargle. Now, I could be a dick here, and this isn't a formal match. I could abuse Sleep Claws, but I'm not going to do that. I think it's quite unfair, and Sleep Claws is a perfectly valid idea. So I just get out that Sticky Web, the most important thing I can do. And his Defogger is dead, so Sticky Webs is here to stay. Now all his Pokemon will be outsped by me, except for that maybe Mega Alakazam, such a high base speed. Now I wasn't sure what to go for here. I decided to go for the Earthquake, knowing that it would do the maximum amount of damage to anything he switches in. I was tempted to go for the Pursuit. But yes, in comes Cynthia, who gets caught in the Sticky Web, has its speed lowered, and we do about 51% damage. So I go for another Earthquake. And Cynthia goes down. Brilliant. Activating that Moxie boost. However, my HP is at very low range at the moment, and in comes Jujitsu. Sorry about that. But yes, Jujitsu, they often are choice scarfed or have priority, so I am going to switch here because I do want to keep my Crocodile around thanks to its Moxie ability. We see Jujitsu go straight for the U-turn, which suggests to me that the thing is choice scarfed. Does give him the optimal switch, and unfortunately I no longer have any safe switches. And considering all the switching I've done, I'm sure my opponent is probably going to assume I'm switching. So I will go straight for the Bug Bite here, and do as much damage as I can. And yes, he did predict the switch and go for Flash Cannon. But yes, I'm actually going to stay in and let Cypher go down, because I can't really switch into anything safely. And yes, goes for another Flash Cannon, knowing at that range of HP he will take me out. Or he is possibly choice spexed. But now I can bring in Xurkitree, who I'm pretty sure can sweep. Thunderbolt will take out Roswell at this range, so I will go for it. And now that his ground type is gone, I have nothing to fear. So yes, down goes the Magneton, and activates my Beast Boost. And this is the only thing I worry about. I might not outspeed it after a Sticky Web drop. I think this thing's base speed is base 140, or maybe base 150. So it may outspeed Xurkitree's base 83. And we see it actually does. But it goes for the relatively weak move Psyshock, bringing me down to berry range, thankfully, and allowing me to get my HP back. As we fire off with another Thunderbolt, and at +1, no worries, it will take it out. So my opponent here, in big trouble. I think his only choice now is the Jujitsu. If it is choice scarfed, as I assume it is, it will outspeed me, but can it KO me with anything? Surprise, surprise. I did think about not going for the electric move here, but yeah, he goes for spikes, turning himself into a ground type. But I'm assuming my opponent here is assuming I'm choiced in some fashion, because he continues to go for it. Although we assume he is choiced too. But I'm not choiced. Well, actually, he should know I'm not choiced, considering I just ate a berry. But yes. My opponent flailing about here, and decides to accept the inevitable defeat. As Xurkitree, flailing its arms about here, brings an end to my opponent's team, and we know the Kahamanu does not have a choice item and will get outsped. So Xurkitree finishes it off with Thunderbolt, and I had a good game. So yes, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I may have bonus for this. So yes, as a little bonus, I decided to add the short battle afterwards where he rematched me. I decided to bring a different team this time, a new experimental and slightly weaker team. And when I saw he brought the exact same team, I was very afraid. My team is completely outclassed by his team. But I'll give it my best shot. So I lead with Masquerain here, who's going to be my sticky web setter. The Intimidate does not help against Mr. Psychic, of course, but he does switch out, not wanting to take any super effective bug-type moves, which is good for me, because I didn't go for one. I went for Sticky Web. Now, he brings in his choice, in his Defogger, which is interesting. So I actually decide to go for the Quiver Dance here. If he does take me out, then that would suck, but I'm just going to try my best. So I'm now probably faster than that thing, and I can hit it hard with Air Slash. So off I go. Is he going to defog? Lucky for me, he does not. He goes straight for the Hurricane. But that's okay. I've brought his HP down to a nice range now where I can easily finish him off. And I bring in Lucario with extreme speed. But surprise, surprise, he actually switches. He goes into Roswell. Well, that's definitely going to take very little damage from my extreme speed. Surprisingly, it takes more damage than I thought it would. But I can hit it with an attacking move. Unfortunately, I miss. This Lucario is Hone Claws, Close Combat, Iron Tail. You get a Hone Claws up and your accuracy on those moves goes insane. But unfortunately, I did miss. So I go for the Hone Claws here, thinking maybe he's going to switch out, not wanting to take a Cross Chop. But for some reason, he doesn't switch. Very annoying. But, that's bad. One of my most powerful Pokemon gone. But now I can bring in Nidoking. Now, he has no reason to stay in here. So instead of going for the Earthquake, I decide to go for the Ice Punch, hoping that he switches in Tornadus. And what do you know? He does. And down it goes to that super effective Ice Punch. His Defogger is gone, and Sticky Webs are here to stay. Switches into his Jutsu. Now, I don't want to take any super effective water moves from this thing, so I'm going to switch out. Nidoking is power, and I'll go into my Rapid Spin, Sarina. Unfortunately, he goes for the Ice Beam. Not good for Sarina. We take hefty damage. But yeah, not much I can do there, so I figure I'll just let Sarina go down. I don't really have many safe switches. But yeah, unfortunate. I'm losing Pokemon left and right here. But now I bring in Omastar. Based on what I saw from the previous battle, I don't think this Jutsu has anything to hurt me with. So I should be able to get up a Shell Smash here. Unfortunately, in comes the Tapu Lele, and I think even a +2 Surf is probably not going to take it out. Unfortunate. And it'll probably one-hit KO me here. But I did get the boosts up, so that's good. Of course, returning our lowered stats to normal. And he forfeits. Big surprise, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.